Hello friends, and welcome back to another gentle yoga class with me, Marcy. Today's class is the first in a series of 4 where we are exploring the gifts of muscular energy. And in today's class, we're using muscular energy as a form of curiosity, becoming curious. Muscular energy is the second universal principle of alignment in Anusara Yoga. And when we get curious about the gifts that it brings, and also the downfalls when we practice it in times and in ways in our lives that don't ultimately support us, we get curious about all of that in today's practice. And I think you'll find that there's some medicine here for you today. Take your comfy seat if you haven't already. And we'll begin to settle. And today is the first in a series of 4 classes where we'll be focusing in explicitly on something called muscular energy in our practice. And it occurs to me that it requires a certain level of muscular energy to actually be here right now. To have, to have said no to everything else in order to say yes to this. So that's a gift of muscular energy. So feel free to begin to bring awareness into the breath, perhaps lowering your eyelids, and availing yourself to the gift of slowing down into the rhythm of the heart and into the rhythm of the body. Much slower rhythm than the mind. So the first universal principle of alignment is a big, fat yes to the universe. It's a yes to life. It's a yes to what is. It's an enormous opening to grace. And our second universal principle of alignment, muscular energy, is a drawing inward, drawing towards the center line, drawing the skin towards the muscle and the muscle towards the bone. And it's a no, it's a contraction. So opening to grace is an enormous expansion, and muscular energy is a contraction. And to some parts of the self, that kind of contraction may feel unwanted or unwelcome. Just like for some parts of the self, starting with a giant yes might feel unwanted or unwelcome. And it's very possible that in some ways we begin with a no. In some areas of our life, in some relationships, in certain thoughts, thought patterns, or ways that we show up or don't show up to ourselves and to others and to life. And so an invitation in today's practice is to become curious about that. Today's practice is not about changing any of that necessarily, because there may be really good reasons to start with a no. And with curiosity, we may discover that some of the ways that we start with a no don't totally serve us, and that we may be able to soften that no and move into opening back to life again. and we may not. And so the curiosity really is key here. Not following some dogmatic, you must start by being open to absolutely everything. No, that's not it. Though I will be guiding you to begin again with the open to grace cues such as come into your breath, or soften the skin of your face, or melt into back body, create space in the sides of the body. I may use any of those cues. And then we'll move very swiftly into the energy of muscular energy, which is earth energy. It's more solid, right? We get to feel how our bones actually support us and our muscles actually support us as metaphors. The greater scheme or fabric of our life. So noticing the movement of the breath, which may have gotten quite quiet. I invite you on the top of the inhalation to create a gentle pause. And then exhale fully, and at the bottom of the exhalation, create a gentle pause. And then inhale fully. Create a gentle pause. Exhale fully. And following your rhythm. You know, I'm speaking my rhythm right now, which may not match yours. And so muscular energy allows us to say, no, I'm going to follow my own rhythm. Thank you. We'll do this for a few more breaths, this form of pranayama, of controlled breathing, which is very gentle. And if it doesn't work for you, just come back to natural breath. You may notice the bandha, which is a lock, that naturally comes in when you create a pause at the top of the breath. Where do you feel that lock? And then at the bottom of the exhalation, when you create a pause, it's another bandha, and you may feel it in a different place in the body. I invite you to bring in Ujjayi breath. And then at the top of the next inhalation, after your pause, we'll come back to natural breath. Bring our hands together in front of the heart and join our voices. The sound of Om. Full exhalation. Deep inhale. And Release the hands, open the eyes when you're ready. I don't know, that felt really good. I almost want to just stay there for for the full hour. Anybody else? Yeah, cool. That's nice. All right, let's do a few things seated. So come into the breath. That's the open to grace cue. And now, actually, while we're seated, we're going to activate the toes of our feet. That's a muscular energy cue. That's a no. That's an earth energy cue. It creates a boundary and it creates support. And just see what that feels like in the seated position. And right here, seated, we're going to do some sun breaths. So inhale, hands up. Feel the ground through the sits bones and reach through hands. Feel the length in the sides of the body, but keeping those toes active, and then exhale, float the hands down. 2 more. Inhale, the hands up. And exhale, the hands down. 1 more. Inhale, the hands up. And exhale, the hands down. And then let go of the toes. Come back to whatever. Maybe wiggle the toes around. Oh, Ekis is really loving being with you on that mat right now. We'll see what happens, right? When you start needing to take up that space. Okay. He might. He will. He certainly will. Okay. We'll do a side stretch seated. And we practiced this before with side bodies long and melting into back body. So we can do that right now. We can inhale and melt into back body and find the sides of the body long, melt shoulder blades on the back. Then, with curiosity, activate the toes of your feet. My goodness, what just happened? For me, there's something quite lovely about bringing in that muscular earth energy right now, and I'm about to come into my side stretch. So let's all do that. We'll take our left fingertips to the ground and the right hand on the right hip. And just notice, does this activation in the feet, what does it create for you? For me, it creates a real sense of stability. Let's take the right hand out and do what we do. Oh, there it is, there it is. Oh, yes, hello, shoulder. A little rotation at the shoulder joint. Walk fingers out. Stay grounded in the sits bones. Then find your way in. Noticing again that activation in the feet. Pressing down through the sits bones. Reach through the fingers. Keep breathing. And then reach it forward, round the back. Oh, notice again that activation in the feet. Inhale it up. Exhale, float it down. And then let go of the toes for a moment. Just wiggle them. Because that's kind of a lot. And we're going to be doing that throughout today's practice. So give them a break. Okay. All right, come into the breath again. Melt into back body. Find length in the sides of the body. Melt shoulder blades onto the back. Now activate the toes of the feet. Oh, it's like a whole different animal. Right fingertips to the ground, left hand to the left hip. Pause. Notice the activation in the feet. Good. Then take that left hand out and find that movement up at the shoulder joint. A little rotation, walking fingers out as you move. Find your way in. This is your expression here. And when you come in towards your full expression, commit again to rooting through the sits bones, finding that activation in the toes, feeling what that means to you, and then reach for it. Staying full in the breath. Good. Then reach it forward around the back. Inhale it up. Exhale, float it down. Let go of those toes. Move them around. Good. And here goes. We're going to walk the fingers forward. One hand. The other. Kitty, kitty on a mat. Oh. Sometimes when he's with me and I'm in meditation, I love to like actually fold my body right over the top of his and kiss him on the head. And he really allows that at certain times. So Jeff, if you feel like, enacting that right now, see how that goes. Yeah, it's very sweet. Nice. Breathe right into this shape. And if you feel like it and you're curious, once you get into this shape, activate the toes and notice what happens. How does that translate into the spine? Do you get actually a little more length? Does the heart space become more free? And then inhale, walk it back. Hoopa, hoopa. We're going to walk it through to hands and knees. Yes. That's love right there. Oh my gosh, that is love. All right, tucking the toes under, finding the breath. Walk the knees back about an inch. Nice and wide in the fingers, creating a stable base. Find the breath. Good. Now here, the muscular energy. Of course, he's going to come to the mat that you opened up. Hi, Akis, you coming over here now? The mat is always greener. Oh, the mat is always greener. Hello, my love. So tucking toes under is a form of muscular energy. That's an earth energy. Another way to practice muscular energy here is to gently draw the index finger and the thumb isometrically towards one another on the mat. Notice how that powers things up in the forearms and all the way up the arms. See if you can keep that engaged as you inhale the heart forward. And exhale, rounding the back. Oh my goodness. Move at your own rate here, follow your own breath. We'll do a few of these. And as always, an invitation is to listen to what your body's telling you, and if it wants to move a little differently, like taking hips back or rounding hips, then follow that. Hey, sweetheart. Oh my goodness. Feel free to make sounds. Yep, we don't have to stay silent. Especially if there's a sound right there at the edge of the heart that wants to come out. Oh my goodness. All right, next inhalation, come back to center. Find your way onto your bellies. You're in the way. People on the video aren't going to be able to see me, Akis. They're just going to be able to see you. That's okay. All right. Forehead on the mat. Hands at the side. He's doing some pranayama, serious meditation right now. He's definitely in samadhi. Hands to the side of the rib cage. Pause. Feel free to wag your tail for a moment. Nice. And now, coming into the breath, how do we activate muscular energy here? We're gently going to draw the skin of the legs towards the muscles of the legs, towards the bone of the legs, and you'll feel that up and into your buttocks. That's just enough so that the buttocks is about the firmness of a ripe avocado. All right? We don't want like the pit, we want the ripe avocado. If you've gone to the pit, you've gone too far. Back it off. Okay, just enough. Just and with some curiosity, see what that's like. Then inhale, shoulders towards ears and onto the back to come up into a cobra. See if you can lift your hands. Find some length through toes and crown. And then exhale that down, press into the hands, and press yourself back into a child's pose. with an exhalation. And then inhale, come back onto your belly. So rock it through. Hands at the side of the rib cage. Untuck the toes. And then take it again. We're going to take the muscular energy. So drawing skin to muscle, muscle to bone of the legs to get your ripe avocado. Inhale the shoulders towards the ears and onto the back. To lift, gentle cobra. Exhale, release, press into the hands, tuck the toes, pose of a child. And let's do one more. Inhale it forward, find your way, onto your bellies. Untuck the toes. Well, Ekis has left us completely now. Feels a little judgmental, but whatever. All right, wag your tail, find the breath. Then bring in the activation. See if you can really feel this in slow time, like you were on the moon and everything was 7 times slower. So, even though that's a weight thing, so I totally mixed that up. But I'm not really a scientist, so I'm a yogi. Anyway, science of self-knowledge. So, skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Get your ripe avocado. We're going to make guacamole. Inhale, shoulders towards ears, onto the back, and lift it. Lift the hands. Beautiful. Good. Exhale to release. Tuck toes. Press into hands. Pose of a child. Oh, make a sound. From here, we're going to get onto our backs, my friends. So I'm going to come up onto my hands and knees and bring my hips to the side, swivel my feet around to the front, and get onto my back. You're going to want a strap in a minute. Okay, let's get onto our backs. Oh, and reach and come into a morning stretch. Reach through fingertips, reach through feet, through heels. Active toes, that's your muscular energy here. Reach. And keeping that activation in the toes of the feet, turn it into a side stretch, that banana stretch, so that the hands and the feet move towards the right. Keep breathing nice and active in those feet. Yeah. Exhale, center and over to the other side. You're like a windshield wiper. Let's do the first side again, just because I like that. Now, think of yourself as a windshield wiper. Even though we were a banana just a minute ago. And then the other way. That's what happens when there's a full moon and it wakes you in the middle of the night. And then you have to get up at a certain early hour and teach yoga. You mix all of your metaphors and your science gets really murky. All right, exhale that down. In fact, I don't even know what we're doing next. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Let's bring our feet to the mat. Hip width apart. Arms at the side and bend in the elbow with jazz hands. Come into the breath. Feel a melt into the back body here first. So opening ourselves to the yes to life. Yes to life. And then we need to create some boundaries. So we're going to activate the feet, and you can even feel it into the fingers. Active toes, active fingers. Keep that engaged as you then begin to move into your pelvic tilts. So inhaling, creating a curve in the lower back, and exhaling, pressing that curve in. Let the no support what you're saying yes to. And keeping the boundaries clear. And if it feels good, the next time, you're pressing the lower back into the earth, you can press into the heels and start to lift hips up to migrate yourself into a gentle bridge pose. And inhale there. Press into the feet. Exhale that down, and if that's how you're working, let's do 2 more of those. Otherwise, stay with your pelvic tilting. Inhale, pressing into the feet, back of the arms. Excuse me. Exhale it down. And one more time. Inhaling it up. Oh, and exhaling it down. Let that go completely. Let all the muscular energy go. Let all of that dissolve, and grab your strap and open the strap. We'll take the strap around the right foot as we take the right foot up towards sky. Walk the hands up the strap and then melt the shoulder blades into the back onto the floor. Nice. So we're getting into the hamstring without being weight-bearing in the foot. So feel free to really explore here. Come into the breath, and then we'll activate the toes of that right foot. Yeah, make them active. And then play here with bending the knee and straightening. And if you'd like to extend the left leg out, you can experiment with that, or you can keep that foot on the floor. Activate the toes of the left foot as well if that leg is outstretched. Yeah. And then you may want to sustain a stretch, keeping the knee as close to straight as works for your body this morning, today, right now. Maybe it's not morning for you. Oh my goodness. Woo-wee. Take both sides of the strap into the left hand. Open the right hand out to the side. Pause. Come back into the breath. Let go of everything in the feet. Come into the breath. Now activate both feet. Maybe your left leg is outstretched for this. Maybe it's not. Now with that activation, begin to take that foot towards the midline of the body. And once you start to feel sensation in the fascia, the connective tissue, pause. Wait for it. Give it a second. Give it 10 seconds. Let it catch up. Fascia opens more slowly than muscle tissue. And if it feels good, you can continue your journey with the foot across the body and into a twist. Any depth here. Staying active in both feet. Oh my goodness. That feels like an awakening to me. And inhale your way out. Let's everybody, if the left foot has been outstretched, let's take that foot now to the floor. Take both sides of the strap into the right hand. Open the left hand to the left. Then open the left knee towards the left as you begin to take the right foot towards the right. And just notice even what's happening in the hips here. We'll bring curiosity. Inhale it up to come out. Release with mindfulness. Float that foot down. And take a moment to release all of that. In our last series of Opening to Grace, we worked with the 5 acts of Shiva, and there's a moment of dissolution. And in our Western culture, we often don't allow what we've created, when it dissolves and needs to end fully before we engage in the next thing. And that's actually a mistake, I think. So we get to feel the dissolution, and then we start our next side. So come into the breath. Now take left foot towards sky. Use the strap. Bring it around the balls of the foot. Walk the hands up the strap, long straight arms, and then melt the shoulder blades back into the back body. We have now opened ourselves. We're in the yes mode. And now we're going to bring in some muscular energy by activating the toes of the left foot. Whoa, notice what happens all the way up and into the hip socket. Maybe you're stretching your right leg straight and activating those toes as well, and maybe you're not. You can work here with your own body, with a little pulsation of the knee, bending the knee and straightening, or maybe you're in press of the knee towards straight to really get into the belly of the hamstring here. Staying full in the breath, soften the skin of the face. And staying active in the toes, take both sides of the strap into the right hand and open the left hand out to the side and pause. Now let's let go of the toes for a second. Let go of all that muscular energy and just notice what that feels like. It's really different, isn't it? Okay, come back into the breath. Now activate the toes of both feet. Ooh, my left leg comes into a much deeper state of alignment when I do that, particularly on this side. Begin to draw that foot towards midline, and as soon as you feel sensation in the fascia, the tug, pause and let it catch up. And when it has caught up, you can journey more deeply or stay where you are. If you feel that tug again, feel free to pause and let it catch up. Good. And take it over as far as you like, as far as your body says yes to. Right now, in this moment, which is unique and distinct. Inhale your way out. Take both sides of the strap into the left hand. Bring the right foot to the ground if it's not already. Let all of that muscular energy go for a moment. Open the right arm out to the right. Come into the breath, melt into the back body. Saying yes to life. Now activate the toes of both feet. A boundary. Muscular energy, earth energy, stable. Begin to open the right knee to the right and the left foot towards the left, keeping the activation in the feet. Come as deep as feels right to you right now. Stay in the fullness of the breath. Soften the muscles of the jaw, the skin of the forehead. Even bringing in Ujjayi breath. It's a kind of form of muscular energy, that tightening in the back of the throat in the breath. That's a muscular energy. Inhale to unwind it. Bring the foot down. Let's draw those knees up to the heart, towards the heart. Rock on the sacrum. Drop knees to one side. Arms in cactus arms on the floor. Nice and active in the back sides of the arms. There's your muscular energy to support this opening. And then inhale it up and take it to the other side. Active in the toes. Inhale it up. Exhale, feet to floor. Okay. Right ankle comes in front of left knee. Arms at the side. Pause and breathe. Now activate the toes of both feet. Keep that active. You're going to feel, perhaps in that right foot, feel it activate all the way up the leg and into the hip socket. Then reach through to come into your figure four pose. Breathe. right here in your figure 4 pose, let go of the activation of the feet for a moment and just see what happens. How does that feel? Now reactivate the toes and notice how that's different. Exhale it down. Let it all go. Let it all go completely. Let go of all that muscular energy. It's important to feel the difference. Okay, coming into the breath, we take the left ankle in front of the right knee, and then very mindfully we activate the toes. We bring in that boundary, that support. Then reach through with the hands to come into your figure 4. Breathe here. Enjoy. Your body's glad you're doing this, I'm quite sure. And now, just for the sake of curiosity, let go of the muscular energy in the feet. What happens? Yeah, does this feel familiar? That you are active in your life, but you haven't brought in the muscular energy perhaps that you need to support yourself in what you're doing? Now let's try it. Activate the toes again. See how that supports the action, supports you in the action. Strengthens something about you, perhaps your light, your own sense of self gets stronger. And then exhale that down. Taking feet the width of the mat, activate the toes, open the arms to the side, windshield wiper, knees to one side, and then the other. And then the first side again, and then the other. Good. Inhale to center. Find your way to standing. Maybe you're rolling to the side, coming up. Maybe you're rocking on the spine. Hello. Bring blocks to the top of the mat. So what are we noticing, if anything?
You can feel the change between the activation and non-activation.
It's pretty...
What I'd like you to try to teach us is how to activate here without activating here. Can you work on it?
Yeah, right. Quick fix. Yes. So that's such a cool thing to notice, actually, is when we activate in one part of the body, how we can also activate in parts that we're not using. And that's an inefficient use of our energy, isn't it? Were you noticing that too?
It brought in like tension
To other parts. Yeah. Ooh, cool. See what happens when we get a little curious. It's like, and do I need to be really tight in my jaw and my shoulders right now when I'm just using my feet and my legs? What do I need to soften that? Well, you've already got the first thing that you need, which is becoming aware of that. And then asking the question, is this necessary? And then, okay, so how do I soften that? Because I really just want the activation here. And then, yeah, how do I soften that? That's a whole exploration in and of itself. Love it. All right. Cool. Glad I asked the question. Glad I was curious. Look down at your feet. Hello, feet. All right. A little movement forward and back. And then notice, did your fingers just get involved in some way? And did the upper body get involved? And can you let that go if it did? Good. And just coming into feet. This is a moment where you can let the muscular energy be the bones, the bone structure. The skeleton is holding you up. The skeleton, the muscles, the connective tissue, it's all doing its job, but really the bones have got you right now. All right, come to center, and let's soften the outer skin of the whole body, just for a moment. Soften it first. Nice. Now, look down, lift and spread the toes. See if you can feel, notice how the hands got involved. Yep, it's what happens. So just let that go. Without judgment, we'll just let that go. Press into the big toe mound, and then bring awareness into the inner heel. Press into the inside of the heel. Come to the pinky toe mound, press into that, and then bring awareness to the outside of the heel and press into that. And then fan the toes down, starting with the pinkies. This is potentially a real sense of rooting that we have initiated by working this way. So we call that the four corners. So activating the four corners of the feet. And then if you notice that the shoulders tightened, you can let that go. Or if the jaw tightened, or if the skin of the face tightened, just let that go. All right, inhale, hands up for some sun breaths. See how rooted you feel? Like if Hurricane Milton came through right now. You might sway a whole bunch, a whole bunch, but you're so rooted in your feet, right, that you got something. Inhale the hands up. All right, I don't know, 130 mile an hour winds might unroot you. I don't know. But something more gentle will not destabilize you. So you've created your own self-support. This time as we exhale, put a bend in the knees and forward fold. Your blocks are here if you need them. Knees are also here. So you choose, the level of support that you need based on how tight your hamstrings are. Let go of something in the feet for a moment and come back into the breath. And now we're going to activate it. So activate the toes. Feel into the four corners of the feet. Find the big toe mound inside of the heel, pinky toe mound outside of the heel. Then fan the toes down. You feel a slight draw of the ankles towards one another. Then you can let go of the head, make a sound. Inhale the heart forward. So stay active in the feet, the shins, the legs. Exhale, forward fold, make a sound. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. One last time. Good. And then inhale the heart forward. Long, straight back. Arms out to the side. Lift up. Touch that sky. Feel your rooting here. Feel those four corners as you reach. And then exhale your hands to heart. Inhale, hands up. Here we go. We're going to sit down. Take your time. Begin to sit back. Activate the feet again. Lift and spread the toes. Find those four corners. Feel the gentle draw of the ankles towards one another. Then bring the toes down. Keep that engaged. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. And exhale, release. And release the toes. And release everything. Good. Come to the top of your mats if you're not already there. Release everything for a moment. Nice. Now, finding the breath, we're going to bring weight into the right foot. Lift and spread the toes. Get active here and put a bend in the knee. Take all the weight here. Take weight out of the left foot. And step it back. Yeah, we're doing it with balance. Nice. Back foot turns to a 45-degree angle. There's a bend in the front knee. Front knee is above the front ankle. Pause. Let muscular energy go for a moment and just come into the breath. Saying yes to life. And you might even just imagine a place where you know that you tend to start with a no because it's just an old pattern. And you might for a moment imagine yourself softening that no to a yes to life itself. Good. Now here we go. We're going to activate, bring in muscular energy. So lift and spread the toes. See if you can find the four corners of the feet again. Take the time you need. Then bring the toes down. Muscular energy, check. It helps to actually square the hips when you do that, doesn't it? Nice. Now let's press into the feet and inhale the hands high. Feel that rooting. Feel your own strength and stability as you press and reach simultaneously. There are things that we need to say no to, and muscular energy can give us the support we need to say no. It's not always easy to say no to what we actually need to say no to. So here you might imagine something that you need to say no to, and feel the no. And now exhale your hands into the heart. Here we go again. We're going to take all the weight into that front foot. Balance it forward. Feeling it all the way up and into the glute. Good. Now let it all go. Did you feel that in the glute? Yeah? Good. That's where you want it. Woo, woo, woo. Shake something out. I just looked over at the time. I'm like, what? How could it be? What is happening? We did get a little late start. All right. Here we go. We're going to try the other side. So come into breath. And now look down. And lift and spread toes of your left foot. Find the four corners. Big toe mound inside of the heel, pinky toe mound outside of the heel. Then fan the toes back down. Taking all weight into that, you can bend the knee. Weight comes out of the right foot. Hands to the heart. Hi. Then step it back. And notice how the stability that we brought in allowed you to move this way. Let everything go again. Let all your muscular energy go. Whew. All right, come into the breath. And then here we go. We're going to lift and spread the toes. Feel how the skin moves towards muscle and muscle moves towards bone. Earth energy in the body. Nice. Lift and spread toes. Find the four corners and then fan the toes down. Great. Pressing into the feet. Float the hands towards sky. Feeling that tremendous stability in the lower half of the body. Breathing. Pressing through feet, reaching through fingers. And when you're ready to begin to end this, with an exhalation, hands to heart, looking down at the front foot, feel the front glute get active. You're going to start to take weight into that front leg, weight out of the back leg, and draw it forward. Nice. Touch the sky. Exhale it down. Let it all go. Because that was a lot. Yeah. Okay, do we need to do a little heavy sleeves? Take a wide stance, put a little bend in the knees. Find your breath. We're going to do heavy sleeves, but we're going to support it with the muscular energy. So lift and spread toes. Feel a gentle draw of the feet towards one another on your mat. Good. And then begin to let the upper body twist, and the knees have to move. They do. They just do. And now perhaps we brought in too much muscular energy. So experiment here with letting some of that muscular energy go to get the benefits of this movement. Be curious, like how much is the right amount? Maybe in this case, I need a whole lot less. That's what I just found. I need a whole lot less. Oh, okay. And then back to center. Going back to the top of our mats, we're going to do another lunge sequence. So finding the breath, noticing how the fingers want to get involved. They just do. They're like, me. Well, maybe later. All right. Now, bringing weight into the right foot, lift and spread toes. Find the four corners. Put a little bend there, hands together in front of the heart. Take weight fully out of the left foot and find your way back. Back foot at a 45. Nice job, you guys. bend in the front knee. Let all the muscular energy go without losing your hands. Just in the legs. Let it all go. Notice how stability becomes precarious. All right, we're going to bring it back in. So first breath, opening to the fact of being alive. Then lift and spread toes. Find the four corners of the feet. Feel that hug of skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Whoa, feel how that squares the front hips. The front hips? The front hip. Yeah, nice. Press through the feet, lift the hands high. Something wants to soften. Be curious, what wants to soften? Where am I holding muscular energy too tightly? Right now in this shape even. And then exhaling hands to heart, look down at the front foot, feel the activation of your glute muscle. And we're going to bring it forward. Boom. Yeah, let it all go. Let's take the other side. Yeah, fully letting go. I could feel that happening in the room. It's like all the way. Yeah, just letting that glute say, oh, I'm not actually active anymore, so stop working. Nice. Okay, find the breath. Look down at your left foot and lift and spread the toes. Find the four corners, big toe mound inside of the heel, pinky toe mound outside of the heel. Then fan the toes down, bringing weight into that. You feel the skin hugging the muscle and the muscle hugging the bone. Maybe there's a little bend in the knee. All weight comes into this foot. All weight comes out of the right foot. And we just take our time to step it back. Ooh, let go of your muscular energy. Whoa, mamsy-pamsy, what's happening? Here comes the hurricane. Whoa! All right, no, we're getting ready. So, find the breath, and then lift and spread toes of both feet. Feel the hug, feel the squaring of that front hip crease back. Then fan the toes down, starting with the pinky. Feel the stability you've just created in the lower body. Not much that needs to be happening in the upper body. Upper body can be free, right? So if it's not, see if you can let it. Then press into the feet and lift the hands. And keeping that sense of stability in the lower body, the tree trunk feeling. What can be free in the upper body? And then exhaling the hands to the heart. Look down. Activate that left glute muscle. Gonna need it. Taking all the weight into that leg, all the way out of the back leg, and drawing it forward. Whoop-ah! And shaking it out. Yeah. All right, right here on our mats, let's take a wide stance. So I probably want to turn the length of the mat, Jeff, either towards the windows or towards the wall. I see what you're going to do. You're going to turn your mat so you can face me. I gotta see the teach. I gotta see what's going on. I love it. Hands on the hips. All right. Let's turn, since I'm facing the camera, I'm going to do the opposite leg of what I'm saying and you. So let's turn the left toes towards the left and put a bend in that knee. Okay, we're in a Virabhadrasana shape. So come into the breath. And now here we are. We're going to create just enough muscular energy to support ourselves in the shape. Lift and spread toes. Ooh, and feel how that energy moves up the legs and into the hips. That's so nice. Then press it back out. Good. Open the hands nice and wide and look out over your right hand. Now there's some additional things that we need to do here, which is you're going to melt the right thigh back. Keep that and then root the left sits bone down like it's tucking under, just enough. And those are things we'll focus on more deeply in sessions to come in the future. Good. Pressing into the feet. Find length through the crown. Find your energy all the way out through fingers. Now turn that left palm to face up. Right hand comes to the crease where the thigh meets the butt. Press in, dance it back. Nice. Inhale, unwind it. Step, jump, float the feet together.
I'm like,
What? Ha, ha, ha. Good. Shake it out, do whatever, and then we're going to take the other side. So take a wide stance, hands on hips, turn the right toes towards the right, put a bend in the knee, and pause. Come into the breath. Lovely. All right, here we go. We're going to support ourselves by activating toes. Feel how that energy moves up the legs. We're drawing earth energy actually up and into the body, into the pelvis, and then we press it back out again. Open the hands. And now a couple more actions. So left thigh melts back, right sits bone roots down, kind of tucks under. Then we press through feet again and look out over the hand. Find length as we press through feet through crown. Feel aliveness in fingertips. Left hand comes to where the leg meets the buttocks. Press in, turn the other palm facing up, dance it back. Nice. Exhale it out. Turn both feet forward. And if you've got your blocks right here, you may want to use them. So we're going to come into a Prasarita Padottanasana, so a wide angle forward fold. But first we're going to get real active in the legs. So come first into your breath. Feel it lengthen the sides of the body. Now activate the toes. Lift and spread the toes. Notice how the fingers just activated too. You can let that go. Lift and spread the toes. Find the four corners of the feet. Nice. Feel the hug to bone. Then bring the toes back down. Keep all of that very active. Hands on the hips and begin to hinge at the hips. Hinge at the waist. And take the time here so that you keep feeling the activation and the stability in the legs, the no that allows the yes of the upper body. Hands onto blocks. Not losing the action in the legs. We're keeping it. And then into as much of a forward fold as works for your body right now. Staying active in the feet. Staying active in the legs. Letting go of the head. All right. So we're going to come out of it with the same thing. So staying active in the feet, active in the legs, long straight back, hands up to blocks if you're not on them. Recommit the lower body. Keep that as you come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. You can walk your feet together or jump. We're going to come to seated now, my friends. I don't know how the time went so quickly. When you go slow, time moves quickly. It's just a weird paradox, I think. So yeah, sitting up on something to support the natural curves of the spine. And take both of our feet out with hands under knees. And let's start with bent knees here and active feet. Just for a second, and see if you can find that natural curve in the lower back. You might need to be sitting up a little higher, actually. Yeah. Good. So start right here. Y'all look like frogs. Okay. Straighten out your left knee if you can, or you can keep it bent. And then we're going to take the right foot in towards the right sits bone. Nice. Active foot moving towards sky. Janu Shirshasana. Fingers out front. Curve in the lower back. Breath. Walking fingers forward. We're drawing from the outstretched foot up the lines of the leg and into the socket. Keep that firmly rooted and then pressing back out. Now, while you're here, you can start to walk fingers towards the outstretched leg, Janu Shirshasana. And maybe the left hand comes to the outside of the right shin. Just maybe. Depending upon your body right now. Nothing to prove here. This is not Yoga Olympics. Inhale to unwind. Good. And use your hand. Take that leg out. Find center. Use the hand under the left knee to bring that foot in. Our feet are active all the while. Good. Find that natural curve in the lower back. Nice and long in the spine, and then fingertips forward. Feet are active. Drawing the heart forward. On the inhalation, walking fingertips towards the outstretched leg, which is your right leg. Staying active in both toes. Yeah, and I like the bend in the knee if needed. Right? Maybe the left hand comes to the outside of the right shin. Maybe. Depends on you. Keeping toes active. And if something is tightening where it doesn't need to, you can be curious and let that go. Good. Inhale your way out. Bring a hand under that knee. Bring both feet together. Press the feet. Activate the toes. See if you can find that curve in the lower back. Nope, it's gone. Now see if you can find it. Let the heart lift. So the muscular energy here is the feet drawing in towards one another. The expansion is the knees moving away, and the length in the spine. Yeah, I like that. So if you want to exhale and round the back, and inhale and draw it forward, and exhale and round the back, and inhale and draw it forward. Come back to neutral, and guess what? We're going to find our ways on to our backs. I don't know how it got to be that time, but there it is. If you got a bolster, stick it on under the knees. If you got an eye bag, stick it on over the eyes. If there's on your way back onto your back anything else you'd like to do, such as drawing knees up to heart and giving yourself a gentle twist with active feet, that might feel real good right now. And maybe even noticing twisting here at the end of the practice, how things feel a little different. Maybe there's a little happy baby you'd like to take as you find your way into Shavasana. in Shavasana, let go of effort completely. The only effort is efforting to let go of effort. Find the full melt. And focus on the video. I invite you to stay here for as long as you like, until you can really feel the skin of your face melting, the cranium in your head being heavy, the bones in the body being weighty. And thanks for showing up for yourself today.